Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, Mil made my sister cry. Mil told me she needs to take care of my daughter and husband because I only care about myself. Gets worse every time we see her. Mil wants to be involved but only on her terms. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Mil made my sister cry. So if you've been following my story, you'll see my Mil is the devil. Per my last post, she still had my fridge and some other bits and pieces. We went to get them today. But, we stuck to our word and organized her a fridge from a very, very nice lady. We went to buy the fridge, got the rest of our stuff, except for our bed, from the old place, and went home. She didn't say thank you for the fridge, only complained it was dirty on the outside. We were home for only a few minutes before she phones. My partner gets a phone call from her saying that the fridge is leaking. It's old with a freezer on the top, so it obviously was defrosting and leaking into the fridge. We gave her trash. She isn't trash, so we must come and collect it. She then phoned my sister and made her cry. Said that we obviously all think she's trash, even the lady we bought the fridge from, and she doesn't want to be jinxed. My sister said just be patient. She didn't even say thank you, so she will make an arrangement with my partner to fetch the fridge. I decided that was overstepping the line. Woman didn't even try organize on herself and didn't even say thank you, shouting at us while still hanging on to my bed. So I sent her a message telling her she does not get to speak to my sisters like that. They are not her kids that she can lash out at them. If she has a problem she can deal with me, and considering she didn't even say thank you or try organize something herself, none of us will be assisting her further. She then sends me a message that she's on her way to report me to the police. So I just sent her a thumbs up emoji. Then she sends me a picture of a cabinet we didn't even know could move, asking why we never cleaned there. So why am I so high and mighty? I replied back that we didn't know that cabinet could move, and that's why we got a cleaner in, not only weekly, at her insistence, but also that we had arranged for a post-tenancy clean. She sent me a picture of another cabinet that, yes, could move, so why am I blaming the cleaner? I asked her if she was shouting at her child too. They also lived there. But was I expected to cook, clean and earn an income by myself? She replies, oh shame. I used to work 12 hours a day. I replied that she thinks I don't. Every second week I'm on duty for 16 hours a day, Monday to Sunday. No rebuttal. Then I said regardless of that, that doesn't give her the right to talk to my family like that. And I am sorry if I missed a few spots. Again, that's why we arranged a post-tenancy clean. Then she sends me pictures of the pool. The pool that needed basically a new system, new tank, new multi-port, new pipes. She fixed this 2 weeks before we moved out only. So she sends me the dirty pool and said, a spot or two. Get over yourself. So I sent her a picture when the pool was clean last year, saying that I spent about 3 hours a day cleaning it manually, along with having spent over $1,000 in chemicals to clean the water, because the pool system, which is the owner's responsibility, hadn't been replaced and the vacuum wasn't working or anything. After I send this, she tells me I must learn respect. She can tell I'm very unhappy and she's glad I'm not in her space anymore. I said same could be said about her, with her attempting to sabotage my relationship, tell any old lie about me, anything to make me look like the bad one. Goodbye and enjoy the rest of her life. She then replied that what comes around goes around, and why must she pay for chemicals after how I treated her like dirt. Literally never even said anything about reimbursement. I haven't replied, but I'm glad I was able to have my say. She did send my partner a message to say we must pick up this piece of sh*t fridge of that's what we think of her, which my partner has ignored. A very stupid and unnecessary argument, but she completely ignored her actions towards my sister and instead went off on other things. I'm going to defend myself if she's going to throw stuff I know isn't how she's portraying it. I'm over her trying to make me, and only me, out to be the bad one. Yeah, time to stop responding. This woman absolutely loved that whole pointless argument. Like, she threw in the picture of the pool just to keep you going. Of course the pool wasn't your job to clean. She knows that. She's just egging you on. Yeah. I stopped literally 2 messages after that. Moaning for the sake of moaning. I've blocked her now. Exactly what my mom does. I will clean up after my pet made a mess and she would yell about it just to be able to yell about it. We are no low contact, and when she sent me any messages like that I block her for a few days. Do not go get that fridge. You got it for her, she accepted it, it's her responsibility now. She doesn't want it anymore, she can organize to get rid of it. Your sister needs to block her, and honestly, you probably should, too. I have now, so has my sister, and I have told my partner that I don't care what happens, please do not indulge her and get the fridge. She can sort it out herself. At this point, I just stop responding to her and go consult with a tenants' union or the like. Your old landlord doesn't get to harass you after the tenancy stops. Hell, they don't get to harass you during it. I actually kinda hope she went to the police, just because I want the satisfaction of knowing they'd have laughed her out their precinct for such a stupid complaint. You give her way too much to work with. You need to block her. She sounds like my mom and Mill mixed in one horrible human. I hope you all block and go no contact with her. Ignore and block and evict her from your mind. Last part's important because she has residency there now and the need for eviction is urgent, or you will get drugged back into it. Mil told me she needs to take care of my daughter and husband because I only care about myself. Gets worse every time we see her. I just need to rant. Been married to my husband for 10 years, didn't have any issues with my Mil until a few years ago when my FIL passed away. We started taking my Mil on vacations with us when he passed so that she doesn't feel so alone. This is the 3rd year we've done this. We usually rent a house by the beach. The first year was sad because FIL had just passed, but we all got along fine. Last year I started to notice that she wanted to control a lot of things, from what we ate to the activities we do. Also, whenever I ask my husband to help with the chores, she would volunteer to do it herself. I noticed that she doesn't let my husband do chores around the house. I don't mind this as I can usually be patient with her, and I come from a culture where respecting parents/parents-in-law is important, so I don't push back. We didn't have a dishwasher in this vacation house, so I would usually take turns washing dishes with her while my husband played with our daughter. One night, my Mil wanted our daughter to wash her feet before going to bed. I was washing the dishes, so I asked my husband to do it. My Mil insinuated that I needed to do it. I ignored this and I asked my husband again as I was still in the middle of washing dishes, and he had already started to bring her when my Mil flat out told me that I was letting my husband take on the role of a mother. This pissed me off. I stopped washing and went downstairs to cool off. My husband defended me to his mom and explained how irrational and unfair she was being. A few days later she apologized for her behavior and we moved on from it. This year I had to deal with the same behavior, but it was much worse because me, my husband, and daughter, were recovering from long COVID symptoms. I had planned to go on a day trip with my daughter to the neighboring island. Mil didn't like this, but I told her she can stay. I told my husband he could also stay if he wasn't feeling up for it, but he said he would go. Mil told me when we were alone that I should not make my husband go because he's recovering from COVID. I told her that I wasn't making him do anything. He decided on his own that he felt good enough to go. She said that he was just saying that to make me happy. I told her that he's an adult and can make his own decisions. She then said that if he goes, he'll for sure feel sicker when he gets back, and she essentially insinuated that this would be my fault. That was the last straw for me. I ended up in tears from the stress of having to deal with her all week prior and then from that conversation. We ended up not going on the day trip. I confronted her about how she talked to me and treated me, and that's when she told me that I only care about myself, and she had to put her foot down about not going on the day trip because she's the only one who cares about my husband and daughter. Since then there have been comments here and there about my poor daughter, because I have to go on a business trip or I want to visit my mom who I haven't seen in 6 months, and I have to leave my daughter with my husband for a week. I can't deal with her anymore, but don't want to completely cut her off because of my husband. If anyone can give advice, I'd appreciate it. Stop seeing her. What is up with these Mills thinking they're the best moms and wives? You are not selfish. Seems like this was Mil's last vacation with you. Do not take her with you again, this will only get worse. Does your husband know what she says about you? How does he react? Her son needs another talk with her and put her firmly in her place. You need to put the brakes on, hard. No more holidays with Mil. She had 2 chances and she blew them. She's now widowed for a few years and should be encouraged to find her own friends and pastimes. I'd give her a long time out and insist upon an apology. Organize something different for next year's vacation and book it without her. You don't have to explain why, she already knows. If, when you next see her and she pulls this stuff again, stop, look her in the eyes and say, "Pardon? You seem to be questioning my parenting/relationship with my husband." Keep eye contact. If she responds it's time to be rude, it's not your business. Keep eye contact. But no more overnight stays for Mil. She's had enough chances. I have a mildlynomil who used to try to take my husband's chores. I do eye contact. No thank you Mil, we have it handled. Then if she continued, DH. Where are you? I wanted you to do those as asked. Tell your mother to sit down. Don't move, stand there eyeballing her until she moves. Stop seeing her. No traveling together, no visits longer than an hour or 2. And stop bringing your daughter around someone who's going to teach her that her only value/purpose in life is taking care of a spouse and children. Tell your husband that you're over his mom forcing this 1950s wife/mom crap down your throat and that you won't be seeing her much anymore. He can see her, and if she can behave, you and DD will see her for short visits, but she's on thin ice and she needs to know it. Husband should be defending you vehemently. After all, his mother is insulting him by saying he's not capable of caring for himself and his child. I agree with every single point you made. Exactly right. I'm 62, widowed and Mil. How very kind of you to include her like this, and how awful of her to treat you so badly. Please step back from her for a while. Get your husband to tell her she won't be included in any more trips as she has hurt and upset you both with her behavior. Sadly, my own mother was like this despite everything we did with her. You sound like a kind and caring person. Shame she didn't appreciate your kindness. OP's husband should be hurt and upset. His mom doesn't think he's capable of even washing feet. Time to tell your husband that Mil is no longer to be included on vacations. She is a problem. He can deal with her independently. Also, your daughter is not her servant. Stop seeing her, at least for a long while. Then, if she says things like this, leave. No more vacations or long periods together. Don't be alone with her anymore. Your daughter can't be listening to things like this. It will make her question your completely normal behavior and make her confused. Protect your family. Make this the absolute last vacation. Her. Mil, you don't enjoy spending time me, so we won't be doing that anymore. Then take your family on vacation and enjoy the hell out of the peace and quiet. You do not owe her a vacation. You don't even owe her courtesy after how she treats you. I suggest you put her in a very long time out. Hubs can see her whenever he likes, but for your own sake, be done her for a very, very long time. MIL has an outdated sense of how family dynamics work in this century. Fathers are taking much more responsibility with household chores and childrearing. Your husband needs to tell her, "Mom, this is how our family works. We share all the responsibilities in managing our family. You need to keep your outdated opinions to yourself, or you won't be spending time with our family in the future." I would not invite her on any future vacations. Your DH can explain that your vacations are supposed to be fun and carefree, and her negative attitude is not fun to be around. You should also start implementing timeouts as a consequence when she oversteps. A 2-week timeout where you do not have any contact can get the point across a lot quicker than a discussion where she will play the victim and deny she did anything wrong. You can also drop the rope and let your DH be the point of contact for her, and you just ignore her. Insist that DH be present for all visits. Mute her on your phone and refer all messages to your DH. He will be able to better understand your feelings when he has to deal with her all by himself when you remove yourself from the equation. He will see that MIL is the problem. Mil wants to be involved, but only on her terms. MIL is always commenting how my dad is very involved in Elo's life, how we always call him, etc. We do this because he genuinely wants to help us without strings attached. When we could find formula, he was out there checking multiple stores for us. When we have had a couple times where we couldn't get to daycare in time, he volunteers to pick up Elo and bring him home. When we need help with babysitting for a date night, he volunteers and then takes care of Elo to our specifications, following all rules and boundaries. MIL does not do this, and every time we try to trust her or involve her, DH really wants us to, so I do it for him. She does what she wants and ignores our rules or makes judgmental comments. Well, tonight, Elo is very, very sick. We have been up with him for roughly 24 hours straight cause he has a horrible ear infection and we haven't been able to get his fever lower than 100.7. I am so exhausted. We text MIL and tell her about Elo and say we are exhausted to see if she wouldn't mind coming over tomorrow for a couple hours while DH is at work. No response. We asked her at 11 a.m., it's now 7 p.m. and it is radio silence. Anyways, next time she asks why we never call her for things and we only call my dad, I'm going to bring this up. That is all. Just can't believe the audacity to complain to me and then not respond when we reach out. Honestly, you should drop the rope. If DH wants to deal with his mother, he is welcome to do that. But, when you need help, it is up to you who you choose to help you. DH will be working, so it isn't about him. It is about who you are most comfortable spending time with and asking for help. Call your dad. If DH wants his mommy to feel needed, he can do it on his time. Girl, yes. I told DH that tonight actually. I'm sick of her picking and choose when and how she wants to help or whatever. He can call her if he wants, but I'll be sticking to my dad. He's much more reliable and honest. My MIL does something similar, but about us helping her. She constantly talks about things she needs help with, mostly with her home, and we offer to help. Cue the most overdramatic I am a martyr, I can't have you do teach atttttttt. I am the parent. I don't want to bother you, etc. So when my mom and her other sons, BILs need things, we all helped. Then we get a pity party of, I know so and so is having a legitimate 911 emergency, but I just feel like y'all do more for them than me. The last time she did this my husband really let her have it, which was surprising. He is trying hard but tended to be swayed by her tears in the past. We agreed going forward to not entertain this line if she does it again. We have offered so much assistance that she turned down. She is smart enough to not say this stuff directly in front of me because I would gladly rip her a new asshole. I am patiently waiting for her to slip up one day. Let me guess. It's because LO is sick, and won't be in a happy, playful, lovey-dovey mood for grandma. My MIL would only want my LO if she would go up to her and give her kisses and love. Luckily, I'm not teaching my daughter emotional manipulation, but that's a whole other topic. OMG this. Give me a hug LO. No. LO doesn't have to touch or give affection to anyone he doesn't want to. I feel you 100%. We aren't about that manipulation either, and we are teaching our son he doesn't have to give hugs or kisses to anyone he doesn't want. And yeah, that was my thought process too. Because he is sick and will be crying/screaming due to the ear pain, she doesn't want to be around him. It's not fun for her. MIL enjoys being chased. Stop chasing after her. Every time we try to trust her or involve her, DH really wants us to, so I do it for him. She does what she wants and ignores our rules or makes judgmental comments. I feel this so hard, with my own mom. She took care of LO for one night while we went out, and I never heard the end of her comments about how wonderful things went and how it must not work easily with us every night because we are doing something wrong. LO told me the next day that she skipped flossing her bottom teeth. I keep involving my mom out of a sense of filial piety, I guess, or guilt that we live far away and that I want LO to spend time with her grandmother. But it's problematic every time we interact. Thank you for posting this. Tell DH that if he wants his mother involved, then he can be the one to call her. Drop the rope completely. If you need help, you reach out to your dad. Do not wait on MIL to respond. Call your dad and ask for help. Let DH call his mom. Whomever responds first is the one that helps. Can't help much with horrible in-laws. Please do provide LO with age-appropriate pain meds, as this is really hurtful. Keep their head up, sleeping on a bunch of pillows for example. And LO probably needs antibiotics, so please see a doc ASAP. Pain stops shortly after starting with antibiotics. To help a bit with MIL, info diet it is. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.